The energy coming in. Good night, good night, good night. Oh, check that out. YouTube just told me happy 3rd anniversary on YouTube. It's been 3 years since your channel's first video. Keep it up. I just had to. I just saw that when I came to the YouTube studio. Even though we've been inconsistent, because I will blame school. We've been inconsistent over the years. It's been 3 years. You're still a baby, channel. You're still a baby. By far. By far. We went from the videos, making videos regular, to how else we did. We was thinking about shorts, and I was like, nah, people need more information. Then I thought about going to graduate school, then went to graduate school, haven't graduated yet, you know. But that's something we can come back to. That is crazy, 3 years ago. And we got more ideas coming and better upgrades coming. Okay, your boy has not been here. I got good reasons. I have justification reasons. Let me set this up. It's not letting me get into here. So I think I'm gonna talk about what everybody wants to know. Interesting, okay. I'm gonna talk about what everybody wants to know right now. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that, YouTube. Don't tell me that. Let me see. I can hear me. Don't tell me that. Yeah, don't tell me that for real. It's all right. Typical comment section not working. I guess they say you haven't been here too much, Henry, so you can't get your comment section this time. It's cool. I will be up to speed on my comment section. I'm pretty good with it. So they call him Uncle Donnie. Some people, they call him DT. They call him Kiss the Ring. He been in them headlines, and I definitely know he in them people headlines who follow that finance hard. I know he definitely in the headlines. We got some stories. We're gonna talk about the Trump admin, the compact. I don't know nothing about it yet. We finna find out. We're gonna talk about him trying to sell off the $1.6 trillion in federal student loans to SoFi. That gets deeper. And then we're gonna talk about North Carolina and Bill Belichick, because I made a post on LinkedIn. And of course I wish you all could see it, but you can't see it yet. Definitely upgrades coming at the school. Like, definitely. So let me go ahead and get the disclaimer, because we are live. Man, it feels good to be live. I'll tell you, it doesn't kick in until we're rolling. It never kicks in until we're rolling. I was between reading for school and doing this, and I was like, man, it's only 8. I don't gotta wake up in the morning this weekend. This weekend, I don't have to get up in the morning, catching up. We good. As far as I know, we good. Let me do this disclaimer for somebody to try to get me. And I don't even got my drive hooked up. Oh, man. I thought I did. Give me a few seconds. Okay. My drive. Guys, this drive helps me a lot. I didn't even have it hooked up, which is good. I always have it on. Should be good. That's the part where I fast forward. It was a short video. I'd be like, let's push that back a little bit. Twist that. I hope people ready for this when we get out of graduate school. I hope people ready. I hope they ready. I hope they ready. The weights are coming off. I hope they ready. Get ready. Y'all know about them Temptations? They probably like, he ain't said nothing yet on this live screen. He want me to come watch it. I kind of do want you to come watch it. It's good for your health. Video tools, favorite video. It should load pretty fast. Computer doing pretty good today. Disclaimer. The videos presented here are for informational purposes only, and therefore, if you are to choose an institution, please do your own research and consult with a specialist at the institution you are interested in. I am not a financial aid specialist, academic advisor, or representing any institution during this live stream, although I can give you advice. But speaking on behalf of creator, Henry is only speaking from his experience. So, now that we got that out of the way, let's get into it. Whew, let's get into the breakdown. Whew, let's get into it. I'm starting off with the Trump Compact. Then we're going to dive into North Carolina. Then we're going to finish off with them. I don't know. It's only right if we start off with, truthfully, the Trump 1.6 federal loans. Let's start off with that, actually. Let's start off with that. So, because I think it is the way we did it. We did make that like the first one, I believe. All right. So, I'm on Reuters. If I say, I always probably say them wrong. But, like I said, let me see. It's like Reuters. Reuters. It's like Roy, but Reuters. Cool. So I'm on Reuters right now. Politico and Reuters both have stories, but Reuters, I definitely know they post like financial literacy stuff sometimes too, like stock market stuff. So why is this interesting? So U.S. weighs on selling parts of the $1.6 trillion federal student loan portfolio. Politico reports. All right, so Politico, if I said it right, had to drop first. They said, so they going based off of Politico. So I'm going to jump to Politico, actually, because I got them both up just in case. And they better not hit me with a, you need to pay for this. So, check it out. So, in the picture, I wish I could show y'all the picture. Come so. So, I see Linda. She don't look happy in this picture. She don't look happy. She usually be smiling. She do not look happy in this picture at all. So Trump administration considers sale of federal student loan debt. The discussions have taken place among senior education department and Treasury Department officials. Is nobody realizing that the Treasury is involved with these student loans? You just got to keep that in mind. So it's a picture, Trump and his team, Linda. Trump administration, I always like to read the top line. It says Trump administration officials are exploring options to sell off parts of the federal government's $1.6 trillion student loan portfolio to the private market, according to three familiar with the matter. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Selling it to the private market, I don't know exactly how this is going to look. Instantly, I'm thinking that your loans are going to have crazy interest rates on them. That's my first instance, because that's the only way a private market could like get a return on the investment, essentially, like make profit, because there is a company that I'm pretty sure is going to be in here that is planning to buy some of this. Let's keep going. So it says the discussions have taken place among the senior education department and Treasury Department officials, and have focused on selling high-performing portions of the government's massive portfolio of student debt, which is owed by about 45 million Americans. We got 45 million Americans who owe student loans, and we are still racking them in as we speak. People are more aware, but we're still racking them in as we speak. So they talked about Doge. They saying right here, Trump administration officials have also discussed the issue with finance industry executives, including potential buyers of the debt. The talks earlier this year briefly involved Doge officials at the education department elsewhere. Then they talked about deliberations. Interesting. Selling federal student loan debt raises significant logistical and legal concerns, adding new uncertainty for borrowers. So if you are a borrower, they said selling the federal student loan debt. So remember, I don't know if you guys remember if you ever watched this in the beginning, early on. We say like getting the federal student loan debt or getting federal student loan is not that bad usually, because usually you can do subsidized interest rates, not too crazy usually with federal. When you get it from financial aid, usually it's not that bad, right? But when you go private with your student loans, you have a problem. You're going to have a bigger problem than you usually think or do. So let's keep going. It says key questions include what happens to the borrower protections, typically more generous than in the private market. I just said that. That's crazy. I just said that. The federal loans are more nicer or more friendlier than these private. Private gonna be piranhas moving the interest rates, and whether the government will continue guaranteeing any of the loans. The federal government enjoys more powerful debt collection abilities, such as garnishing tax returns or social security benefits, than do private lenders. They said right here, the Trump administration, typically they're analyzing all aspects of the federal student loan portfolio. They're considering bringing in a outside consulting firm to analyze the loan programs and access the private market with value parts of the portfolio. Now they're saying right here, the federal law governing student loans allows the education department to sell the debt after consulting with the Treasury Department, but only if the transaction would not cost taxpayers money. Okay. But there is little precedent for doing so, if I said that word right, hopefully. Don't get me, guys. It says during President Donald Trump's first term, the Education Department similarly explored the idea and hired consulting firms to examine the federal student loan portfolio and price some of the loans for a sale. Right? Then they talking about COVID-19. COVID-19 always comes up in these conversations. Selling off some of the debt to the private market is just one idea amid the broader overhaul of student loans that the administration is pursuing. Trump officials have already moved to reverse nearly all of the Biden era policies aimed at forgiving student debt or providing more generous repayment options. I'll never forget that I said, do not fall for that. Should have said it on camera years ago, but I didn't because I wasn't recording then. But it's out. The cat out of the bag now. It says right here, the Education Department has moved to restart collections of defaulted debt for the first time since the pandemic in March 2020. Imagine going like 5 years without paying any student loan debt. Imagine. Let me pull my computer up, y'all. Imagine. In a perfect world, opportunity. You gonna start charging? Oh, you not being friendly with me. Is that the right charger? Oh, that's the wrong one. Oops. That's the wrong charger. These chargers look alike. Yeah, it's working. Okay. So it says the conversations about potentially selling parts of the portfolio have been ongoing for months, but it is unclear how advanced the discussions are within the administration or precisely which parts of the portfolio might be sold. When they say parts of the portfolio in the student loan, the 1.6 trillion, I'm so interested into how it breaks down. Because they keep saying parts of it. And I'm like, dang, how, yeah. So this guy right here is really respected. I believe he has a right-wing view. He's interesting though. His work is pretty good. So his name is Preston Cooper. I follow him on LinkedIn because I'm open to different perspectives. That's what college taught me how to do properly to view other perspectives and not just one perspective. And as I say, we're nonpartisan, so I feel like the left wing has some good perspectives on college and higher education. I feel like the right side has some good perspectives on higher education. So I feel like, hey, might as well cover both, right? So Preston Cooper, he is a senior fellow at the American Enterprise Institute. He said that selling off student loans was a dubious idea. Let me Google that. He said dubious. I would love to sit down with him and have an interview. Coming soon. Coming soon. People, who is this? Only the higher educators would know who this is. I feel like people, if you in higher ed, you'll know.
Dubious.
Dubious. What does that mean? He said dubious. What is the definition of dubious? I don't know the definition of dubious. He said
Dubious.
dubious. Man, we really back in the studio, man. We really back. Wow. I had to chill, y'all. My schoolwork was slacking a little bit to me. So he said dubious. Dubious means doubtful, uncertain, unsure, doubt, hesitant, undecided. Or he could have been using that suspect and untrustworthy, unreliable. But Preston Cooper, I wonder what side he does lean toward. All right. So he said he said selling off student loans was a dubious idea that made little fiscal sense. Okay. He said private investors, he said, would not be willing to pay more than the loans are worth. That's what I was thinking, unless they raise the interest rates. That's the only way I can see them getting their money back. And then they got to hope people pay them because they're private. Let's see. It says, even if the goal is to shrink the portfolio and ease administrative costs, he said it likely isn't worth it. I really don't see a scenario here where taxpayers come out ahead. He said, I think the most likely scenario is that taxpayers get less than the loans are actually worth. And then Ellen Connor, executive director of the Project on Predatory Student Lending. Oh, we got an executive director of project. I need to write that down. Ellen. Let me see. Or Elon. I think it's Ellen. I think it's pronounced Ellen, but it could be a different way. It's spelled very different, but hopefully they don't get me for that. This is executive director of, what is this project on predatory student lending. All right, interesting. So right here, Ellen Connor, executive director of the Project on Predatory Student Lending, which has frequently sued the education department on behalf, speaking on your behalf, but on behalf of borrowers. She said she is skeptical the administration could strike a deal that benefits both taxpayers and borrowers. The only way, in quotations, I think they're quoting her. It says the only way for it to make economic sense is to structure the deal in a way that really shortchanges borrowers. She said, much of the value of the federal government student debt, she said, come from powers that private entities don't enjoy. Unlimited time to collect on loans, the ability to garnish social security benefits and tax refunds, and broad immunity from lawsuits if the government mishandles borrowers' debt. At the same time, Connor said it's clear that borrowers have legal protections that cannot be extinguished. It is important for any potential buyer and for all student loan borrowers to understand that there are certain rights and protections that are part of their loans that cannot be written out because of the sale to a private entity, she said. Mike Pierce, executive director of Protect Borrowers, a progressive consumer group, said a potential sale of the loans would benefit. A potential sale of the loans would benefit wealthy investors rather than families struggling with student debt. Once again, I need to write that down. I need to write him down too. And once again, in quotations, we see that across the Trump administration, when Wall Street's demands run against the financial needs of working people, the bankers get what they want, he said. Interesting. So I'm gonna take his name down to. Interesting. This is interesting. It's interesting. Protect. Oh, forgive me, guys. I'm taking down notes right quick. Oh. Bro, what is you talking about? Hey, chill. Protect borrowers. It's a progressive consumer group. Progressive. Seems like they're more forward thinking. Okay. Interesting. All right. So let's keep going. Okay. So right there, Mike Pierce said that a potential sale of the loans would benefit wealthy investors. How? I don't really know, guys. I don't know how it benefits wealthy investors. Not saying I'm saying it's dumb. I'm thinking it makes sense when you sell some loans, because I know about tax sales auctions. And when you know about tax sales auctions, that's when people don't pay their property taxes. They might not have the money. They might fall on hard times. So when people don't pay their tax sales auctions, if years go by, right, some people might not get it on the first tax sales auction, but tax sales auctions happen like monthly, depending where you're at. And so tax sales auction is a way for you to purchase somebody's house who hasn't paid their property taxes. Same thing with loans. Wealthy people can buy your loans, and then when they buy your loans, it's like your money. It's like money coming in for them, essentially. Like anytime you buy loans, think about it. It's a consistent income coming in, because if the person don't pay on the loans, they have to face what? Jail, prison. No, jail and prison a little different, but jail, prison, fines. Like fines ain't really gonna do much because they already don't have money, assuming if they paying back a debt. But fines. It's just bad credit. It's just a lot of consequences, but that's what the whole point of buying a loan. So it keeps a consistent income coming into the person who bought the debt. So, and yes, you could buy debt. So I see why Mike Pierce would mention that, look, it's a chance for wealthy investors to make money. Because think about it, 1.6 trillion in student loan debt, and you're going to get it back somehow, and you can garnish people wages. Ain't no telling what kind of perks this comes with, depending on how they set this deal up. Depending how they set this deal up, there is no telling how this can end up. Interesting. So, okay. And that's the end of it. Oh wow. This is interesting, because now I'm going to Reuters, if I said it right. We're going to Reuters now. I'll be caught up on my energy, guys. When your boy can get some sleep. I haven't slept in since, I don't know, last Sunday around this time. Like, yeah. I'll tell you about that in a minute. So, U.S. weighs on selling parts of the 1.6 trillion. Now, we just talked about it, but now this Reuters, like I said, Reuters is like a business, financial website a little bit. They, for example, I know sometimes they have topics about stocks and stuff, because right now I think they have a tab for markets. Yeah, like Asian markets, carbon markets, commodities, like ETFs. Because I'm a little bit in the stock market world, guys. I see they report. So I know this is going to have more of a financial perspective a little bit. So let's see. Oh, it's not even that long. It's really short. Oh, I thought it was going to be longer. Okay. Hey. Cool. Let's see what they say. I think it's the same stuff. I don't want to repeat it. Like, okay. Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. Pretty much the same thing. All right, let's go to the next one, man. Trump's compact deal. Oh man, Trump. Okay, guys, I got the news on this. I didn't know what was going on. It's always something. It's never a dull moment, man. I love it. I love it. It's never a dull moment at all. So, let's get into it. Which one do I want to see? Because I already see MIT rejects the proposed federal compact. I'm trying to find out what is this. I'm gonna go to the Washington. Let's see if Washington Post is covering it right. I'm trying to see what is this Trump compact. I'm trying to get a real clear idea on this. Let's hope they don't, because I am not subscribed to the Washington Post, guys. They say back on October 3rd. I remember when they posted this, and I wanted to talk about it ASAP. It was like breaking news. Is that it? Ah, there we go. I knew it was too good to be true. I think Chronicle got it. Why am I acting like Chronicle Educational got it? Let me see something, guys, while I search it up. So I'm looking for the Trump compact article. Let me see, Trump compact. So some people already wrote on it. Oh man. Some people wrote, like, these are more like opinions and essays and oh my. Okay, we got people already wrote on it. And it's popping too. It is popping. Hold on right quick, y'all. Let me see. I can move it right there. And then as I look for it right quick. How about this? The proposed. The fact that it's hard to get it is crazy. You would think it'll be easy, of course, but never that. I'm gonna go to, let's go here, because I got something already. Are y'all gonna do the same thing? Let's start there, because we gotta cover this. Let's start there. All right. So where the come on, y'all know what I'm looking for. Wish my computer was a little faster. All right. And of course, They had Sarah Brown on here. Scribbling. They did this in a podcast, yo. Not saying it's bad, but that's not what we want right now. I'm gonna start with New York Times. New York Times. If they ain't trying to make me pay. Everybody wants you to pay sometimes, you know. Information, you see? Information is key. Everybody wants you to pay, and my computer decided to go slow. Guess I got too many tabs open. I will never close my tabs. Never. Alright, my computer having a buffer moment. Trying to make me look bad. I don't mind it though. Charge it to the game. It's just memories you're just making for me. But apparently it said that MIT rejects the White House compact, and you did all of that just to hit me with this. You know, I love you, New York Times. I'll probably get New York Times though for information. I will probably get them for sure. You know something that will have it? LinkedIn. People on LinkedIn always give the spiel about the federal compact. I don't even know why. I'm sorry, I wasted y'all time about that. But LinkedIn definitely gonna have some information on it. I think that's where I saw it at, actually. Why I go find this. Feel free to skip. The fact that you know the topic, but they charge you for it. Who said information is not powerful? Who said? Who said? What? What? Nobody posted it on LinkedIn? Wow, yo. I don't believe you. We already hitting dead ends right now with this. I just... There you go. I know we saw it somewhere. It was posted on LinkedIn. Are you gonna let me read it? Interesting. Perfect. All right. So White House floats the compact for preferential. There you go. Preferential treatment. The White House floats compact for preferential treatment. What is preferential treatment? Pretty much favoritism. Nepotism, favoritism, whatever you want to use, but they use the fancy preferential. For treatment, it says advocates condemn the proposal, which asks 9 universities to overhaul admissions, hiring, and speech policies, and to suppress criticism of conservatives in exchange for more federal money. So, let's get into it. I was trying to find this for about 2 or 3 minutes, but we got it. So, the Trump administration has asked 9 universities to sign on to a proposed compact mandating certain changes in exchange for pretty much nepotism treatment on federal money. Trump feels like he could buy you, I guess. I guess that's what it's coming off as. Let's keep going. It said it was first reported by the Washington Post and confirmed with an additional details by the Wall Street Journal. Why is the Wall Street Journal involved with higher education, speaking on the Trump administration? I just be wondering little things like that. The proposal seeks an agreement with 9 institutions that are being asked to commit to a 10-point memo referred to as the Compact for Academic Excellence in Higher Education. Among the various conditions, institutions are reportedly being asked to ban consideration of race and sex in hiring. Whoa. Ban consideration of race or sex in hiring and admissions processes. Freeze tuition for a 5-year period. Oh, whoa. Please freeze the hello. Freeze the tuition. I like that one. Okay, let's keep going though. Hold on. Limit international undergraduate enrollment to 15% of the student body. Okay. Commit to institutional neutrality? I don't know what that is. All right. Require applicants to take standardized tests such as the SAT and ACT. I don't agree with that. Clamp down on grade inflation. What is grade inflation? All right. Ensure a vibrant marketplace of ideas on campus. Okay. Restrict employees from expressing political views on behalf of the institution. Be strategic about that. That I don't even do that, and I work at a college. That is just keeping your job. People will get rid of you now for having political views. So be strategic, guys. Shut down departments that punish, belittle, or spark violence against conservative ideas. Okay. Do a, I love this word, anonymously. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I said that right. Poll. Pretty much do an unknown poll. That's what they saying. Wait for it.
Anonymously.
Yeah, I said it right. I do an anonymously poll. Anonymously poll students and employees on compact compliance and publish the results. Okay. So before I even get into the meat and potatoes of it, I don't think it's a bad idea to freeze tuition for a 5-year period because tuition is constantly growing. But we need our states to put more money into the institutions. As we talk about, universities already pay like their higher ups an abundance of money, and then institutions claim, "Oh, it comes from our donors," and da da da. Get real, guys. Ain't nobody green. Ain't nobody that green. So I really think they should freeze tuition. I've been a big advocate of that. I think freezing tuition, yeah, it like I say, some schools already have very high prices. Like they should freeze tuition in their best interest because raising the prices is only going to lead to them shutting their school down. Limit international undergraduate enrollment to 15%. No comment. No comment, man, because I guess schools really have high numbers of international enrollment. Really makes me interested to know the numbers. Institutional neutrality. Still don't know what that is by chance. I still don't know what that is by chance. Let me see. Require. So I do. Okay. Require applicants to take the standardized tests such as SAT, ACT. If you bring back the SAT or ACT, I'm gonna be honest with you. It helps me as a business media person because 2-year colleges don't require the SAT or ACT. Now, if you say that you have to take that to go to a 2-year, then we might have a problem. But I do think they should take a compass test. Apparently, at some schools, guys, they don't require you to take any form of standardized test to get into a college. That is a problem because then you don't know if a student can read or not, at least. And it's very likely that it's not like some people are really behind the curve on reading, but reading today, like I subscribe, reading today is it's highly that someone does not know how to read. With technology, social media, it's very, very highly likely, right? And so SAT, ACT is only going to lock out more students to go to college, make it harder, especially if they want to go to university. This is why you should start a 2-year college and bridge to a university. Excuse me. This is why you should start a 2-year and bridge to a university more of ever. If they actually bring that back, but it's only 9 institutions, and I don't know what the 9 institutions are. Definitely started 2 year versus a 4 year. And the rest is just interesting because speaking on your behalf, man. I'm just speaking on your behalf. Started 2 year bridge to 4 year, man. I'm just trying to make your life easier. I'm just trying to make your life easier. That's all I'm trying to do. Just trying to make your life easier, help you save some money. You know, put your money in the S&P index. You know, yeah. All right. So it says that another requirement mandates the people who need to sign, the signatory. I promise you, people come up with words as they go. I'm just convinced, man. Some of these words, I'd be like, why did you say that? You couldn't just say sign the people, the signees, potential prospective signees. But another requirement mandates that signees or signees deploy their own endowments to the public good. Such as by not charging tuition to students. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. Such as not charging tuition to students, pursuing hard science programs with exceptions as desired, for families of substantial means, for universities with more than $2 million per undergraduate student. Oh my bad, $2 million for universities with more than $2 million per undergraduate student. An endowment. Oh, I should have said that first. For universities with more than $2 million per undergraduate student in endowment assets, universities will also be required to post more details about graduates' earnings and refund tuition to those who drop out in the first semester. That is not a bad idea. Only because, guys, we've mentioned this before. Everything that at least in higher education, everything that the conservative party is doing as far as like in higher education is not really bad. I think it adds a little bit responsibility, it adds a lot of responsibility to these university institutions, first and foremost. Universities are making programs, guys, that don't provide you a good return on investment. And the best example I like to use is like if you have like my career field is something that most people don't aspire to do. It's more of people do my career field by accident and end up in like, oh, I didn't even know you could do this as a career and make this much money. Like that's where I'm coming in to expose you. Like, look, you can make this much money doing this career field. This is how much people are making. This is why people join work in higher education and you think they're not making money because it's higher education. Education makes money, but higher education in general is about who's ever at the top makes the most money. That is where we coming in speaking on your behalf. So to keep it rolling, school universities specifically don't really provide, like they don't tell you that, they just advertise to you like, oh, come do our program and major at our school. They hype it up with the campus. You got the homecoming week. Think about it. You got football season from August to whatever time frame, depending on your school. Then you got homecoming in between. Then you got parties in between. Then you got all these distractions in between. Then you don't even realize what happened and what you're going to school for. Then you realize you picked something that doesn't have a good ROI. Then you're stuck with these student loans when you should have started at the 2 year to get your mind and focus and see a little clear. But then you got this other distraction called social media. So then you're even blinded by that. And so it just keeps going and going and going. Then you're just pulling out more loans because you're in the moment. Like, I want a car, I want this, I want to go to this game, I want to, guys. If I just said all that, I feel like I'm about to crash out a little bit over college. And so one thing I appreciate about my 2 year, my experience, guys, making it relatable in real time. As a 26-year-old getting ready to wrap up graduate school, 2 years smooth, quiet, independent thinking. I feel like that's why I got my independent. Well, I always had independent thinking first and foremost. Shout out to my mom and my dad. But it was even more independent thinking because nobody was forcing me to do things. I had freedom. I feel like I had a little too much freedom of choice on some things. But it was definitely like I'm laying out this blueprint and nobody is telling me how I can do it. and you know, like the ability to be like, yeah, I'm gonna transfer under the articulation agreement, and then I'm gonna just take a lot more classes at my 2 year. And then if I'm ready to go to my university, I could be a transient student still at my 2 year because I know my 2 year classes. Like I know the back, I just know how the 2 year college moves at my 2 year, so I can still be like in 6 credit hours total at my university. Then I could be in 6 credit hours at my 2 year. Oh, y'all say y'all offer this class. Do my school got geology? Did my 2 year have geology? They didn't. But if they did in a perfect world, I could have took geology at my 2 year and been taking my actual bachelor degree classes. You know? And then still moving the needle on finish up my bachelor's while still knocking out some other program classes. So like you don't have to be loyal to no university. The only thing about when you try to be a transient before we get back on the topic is that you need to have a good GPA. They're not going to let you go to another school and take classes if you're not passing at your home school. A bank is not going to let you take out another loan if you owe. Well, they should. Banks don't stop you usually, but a bank should not let you take out another loan if you owe money to another bank already. That's how it should be, but it's not like that. Let's keep going. So right here it says, after leveraging funding freezes and other tactics to pressure colleges to make changes, the compact reflects a different approach from the administration. The fact that the administration is even asking, I don't know why Trump is asking at this point. I want him to exercise that executive power right now. These universities need to understand, bro. You can't keep raising these prices on us and expecting us to pay. Like we just walk in. You know, it just really grinds my gears, aka Peter Griffin. It just grinds my gears that these universities just raising prices. And trust me, guys, I got 2 of them right here on my debt-free degree. And shout out to the 2 that I went to. But it's just wrong to like really raise these prices on these kids, and then you have a graduation ceremony. Then you have a graduation ceremony, smiling in my face like everything is okay. You don't know if I'm gonna get a job when I graduate. You don't know if I'm gonna have the income that you told me or projected to me. You don't know if I'm gonna even be good after the next 5 years or 3 to 5 years leaving your institution. You know? Like, then some schools don't even pay their staff members right. I guess that comes with the territory, but it's not really like, bruh, hold on. You got the coach over here making about 10 million a year. You got the president making about 2 million and 3 million a year. You got the execs making about 500,000 a year. Spread some of that wealth. Because then my academic advisor, unless they passionate, my academic advisor, my career services, they might go the extra mile for me. Might. You know? If they was getting paid a little better. But they working like 2 other jobs. Man, I see so many people in higher education got 2 or 3 jobs, y'all. I know it's normal in this economy, but it's just like if they working extra jobs, how are they gonna have the brain power? Because this career field requires brain power, thinking, strategic ways to think of different ways to think and constantly thinking. How are they gonna have the brain power to help me? Let's keep going. So as we keep going through, it says the Trump administration, by the Times, it says the Trump administration does not want to be all whack-a-mole or all negative, but these are the principles that universities and the Trump administration and frankly private donors can ascribe to they put twice to say this makes a great university, she told the Times. It says right here that, okay, May Millman, I don't know if that's somebody's name, I think it is, but a Trump advisor, May Millman, a Trump advisor, yeah, hinted at the plan in the New York Times interview a week before the proposal emerged, saying it could be a way for universities to affirm they are doing the right things. It could be freezing tuition for sure. Yeah. Like everything in here sounds good. I don't know if there's a back end thing with taxes or something. I don't know personally. Hopefully somebody will come in our live stream and tell us. But it says right here that institutions reportedly invited to join are Brown University, Dartmouth College, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology (MIT), the University of Arizona, the University of Pennsylvania, UPenn, the University of Southern California, University of Texas at Austin, the University of Virginia, and Vanderbilt University. I'm gonna be straight with you guys. All these schools probably got crazy prices and tuition. Likely. And I know for sure the University of Texas at Austin. How do I know that? Because if you go watch Dumb Money, it was kids in those college. That it was in the movie. I don't even know how they used. I don't even know how they did that. I don't know if University of Texas said, "Look, you can use our school name and talk about like how our students got this amount of student loan debt." I don't know. I don't even know. That was not a good idea because now I'm talking about it. But the University of Texas Austin got kids with $250,000 in student loan debt. 100 some thousand. It's crazy. But University of Texas at Austin definitely got crazy prices. We know Brown, Dartmouth, Duke, because those are like Ivy, close to being Ivy. MIT might. I haven't never seen their prices. University of Virginia, I believe they got crazy prices, but you get the gist of it. They said right here, those that agree will receive multiple positive benefits, including substantial and meaningful federal grants. But failure to comply with the agreement would come with steep consequences. Non-compliant universities would lose access to the benefits of this agreement for a year. Subsequent violations would lead to a 2-year punishment, and the federal government could claw back at all monies advanced by the U.S. government. During the year of any violation. It says private donations will also be required to be returned upon request. Dang. The Department of Justice would be tasked to enforce the agreements. Institutional responses. Most universities did not respond to requests for comment from inside higher ed, but the Texas officials seemed eager to sign on, sharing a statement indicating their enthusiasm for the compact. Oh, it says right here. But I read it so fast. It says most universities did not respond. But remember, fast forward a little bit. MIT already denied it. I remember seeing that headline. Like MIT said, we're not doing it. We're not doing it. But it says right here that Texas officials seem eager to sign on, sharing a statement and indicating their enthusiasm for the compact. Texas is probably on board because Texas has been in good works with the Trump administration. I'm surprised they didn't put Georgia in it. I'm surprised they haven't did each state. I'm surprised about that, first and foremost. They kept it kind of centered on some certain parts. Let's keep going. University of Texas System Board of Regents. Remember, that's like the headquarter of all Texas universities. Chairman Kevin P. I'm going to say Kevin. So the University of Texas System Board of Regents Chairman Kevin wrote in the statement that the flagship was honored to be among the institutions selected by the Trump administration for potential funding advantages under the proposed compact, which it is currently reviewing. Higher education has been at a crossroads. So this is Governor Greg Abbott. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I don't know much about Governor Greg Abbott. I haven't heard nothing bad about him, but some things that he have done when I read, it made sense to me. Based off of my view on higher ed, made sense. So it says higher education has been at a crossroads in recent years, and we have worked very closely with Governor Greg Abbott, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, and Speaker Dustin Burrows to implement sweeping changes for the benefit of our student loans, of our students, and to strengthen our SIC institutions. What's the SIC institution? To best serve the people of Texas. Kevin wrote, today we welcome the new opportunity presented to us, and we look forward to working with the Trump administration on it. And then it says right here with University of Virginia and their interim president, University of Virginia. Let me tell y'all, I got a story about them. They got some history. It says USC simply said in a statement, we are reviewing the administration's letter. That sounds like they ain't going to do it. Arizona offered a similarly brief statement, pretty much saying that the university first learned of the compact when we received it on October 1st. They're saying they are reviewing it carefully as well. It says that Vanderbilt posted a response on X Thursday, writing, we look forward to carefully reviewing the compact and providing meaningful feedback to the administration. Sounds like they're not going to do it. Outside perspectives are flaring up, they said. And then as we keep going, they're talking about Colombia and the stuff we covered already about Colombia. Now, that's a good question inside this article. Shout out, hold on, my bad, y'all. This article is by Inside Higher Ed. First and foremost, it was written by Josh Moody. Shout out to my guy, Josh Moody. So it says, why these nine? I'm going to go to my graduate school perspectives real quick because I'm in that class. It definitely got something to do with political, the organizational, theoretical, political view. Definitely has something to do with maybe the culture of some institutions for sure. Like they said, they indicated like, look, you got to decrease your enrollment. You have to decrease your enrollment. What they say, your international enrollment for some reason. So some of these things, guys, are very targeted. But we're gonna find out. We're gonna get some opinions from Josh Moody. So it says, why these nine? Why these nine? That's what I was trying to figure out. I probably did one for each state, but let's see. It said it's unclear. Josh has said that it's unclear how the federal government landed on these nine schools as candidates for the proposal. One official told the Wall Street Journal the Trump administration believed they would be good actors. They would be good actors, but contextual clues offer insights into why some may be picked or may have been picked. Of the nine, only 5 presidents signed on to a letter published earlier this year. Oh, only 5 presidents signed onto a letter published earlier this year by higher education organizations pushing back on government overreach and political interference. It says, which ultimately gathered 662 signatures. Of those 5 presidents, once has since resigned. Jim Ryan at the University of Virginia, they never could keep a president. I'm seeing, based off their history, we talked about them in school a little bit. It's interesting. He did resign though. And then it says, who faced pressure from the Trump administration after it claimed the university failed to fully dismantle DEI. And a lot of schools did lose their university president over the Trump administration. So it's interesting. It says two institutions, Brown and Penn, previously struck deals with the federal government. They kissed the ring. And it says other have drawn attention for political reasons. At Vanderbilt I don't think is a good school, but at Vanderbilt, Chancellor Daniel Dearmere has emerged as a leading voice advocating for institutional neutrality. What is institutional neutrality? Maybe that's something I should ask my professor. Institutional neutrality, and has clashed with other campus leaders, arguing that higher education is in desperate need of reform. I do believe that. Agreeing with frequent conservative criticisms of the sector. Higher education is in need of reform. It's just so. It's just. You know? And it has an overwhelmingly conservative board. It says 1 of 3 public institutions on the list has an overwhelmingly conservative board. And both the system and flagship are led by former Republican elected officials. So that's pretty much all, guys. It's funny they put some of the stuff in there. Interesting, right? So the compact from what we got from the Inside Higher Ed is no surprise on what we thought. It's the Trump administration really trying to infiltrate, cause reform at higher education. I really believe that higher education, though, these universities more specifically, need to freeze their tuition. I don't know why it keeps rising. It's just so many ways they can make it better, and I honestly think like the governors in each state and then the university systems in each state, like their board of regents, I really think they just don't care, personally. And it's nothing personal. It's just the truth. The fact that more, and then we're not sticking up for ourselves, guys. Students, parents, even staff and faculty members. We're not sticking up for ourselves. We go along with the prices because we say we need the money, or we say we need the education, right? And we don't want our. It's so many colleges, right, that you could just go to, and if they're giving you hard times, you could just go to another school. And it's not like the job market is hiring people fresh out of college anyway, unless you're in certain career fields. So it's not like you really gonna miss anything for standing up for like, hey, these prices are very high. And now you're like, well, how do you combat this? Well, you speak up the same way most people have been talking on podcasts, social media. In this case, you speak up. You go. You talk about it. Like, hey, your prices are crazy. Your prices come out. Your prices are at the 4 or 5 years at the institution, universities. You're charging me by the house. I'm debating, should I just get a house, get a decent job, and not go to school? At least my home will grow in value. My education is more like stagnant or negative on value, depending on how you do it. That's why I say start at 2 year bridge to 4 year, or under the articulation agreement. But um, if I had a microphone in my hand, right? And so these are the problems they're constantly facing, and like it's a lot of disgruntled parents, it's a lot of disgruntled students, it's a lot of uncertainty on the higher education future. I'm very optimistic about higher ed and the future of it because I feel like there's a lot of change needed. um and I feel like I just really genuinely feel everybody should really get a higher education degree or get some education of higher education. I really just feel that way. And so let's go ahead and jump into our next one, man. Bill Belichick. Like, let's go ahead and talk about that. If you made it this far, shout out to you. If you skipped and came into our live stream, I really appreciate you because, like, guys, there are some, like, I'm just gonna talk to you about it. So, higher education at its finest. This is what I said. So, I reposted a post from the Wall Street Journal. It was a post from Wall Street Journal. They said something about Bill Belichick. He was supposed to turn around North Carolina University. He was supposed to make them a title contender. Instead, they have become a laughingstock. Apparently, they're not doing good this season. I think I don't watch football. I don't watch college football or football really. But Bill Belichick is a real interesting person. If anybody knows this guy, he's the one who coached Tom Brady and the Patriots. He the reason for their 7 championships. I think he should just retire first and foremost. But let's keep going. So they brought him in. And North Carolina is supposed to be a laughingstock, but I don't think North Carolina is really a laughingstock. At least their football program. Let me tell you why. Well, North Carolina is not a laughingstock. Let's be clear on that. And when they brought him in, North Carolina knew that they can make more money on bringing Bill Belichick in. I really think it was a money grab opportunity. Like, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Nobody really paid attention to North Carolina football program or North Carolina since, I guess, the guy named Michael Jordan, I guess. Nobody really paid attention to North Carolina. Like, they had some talent, I guess, going to the league. I don't know. But nobody really put North Carolina in the news or anything until he got there. So this is what I said. I said this is higher education at its finest. I said North Carolina University knew ahead of time they would sell way more tickets. I said they would sell way more tickets. I can't imagine how much a ticket price is at this college right now. Sell way more tickets for just bringing him in alone, Bill Belichick. I said they knew that. I said similar to when universities bring in big-time lawyers, businessmen, and more to lecture a class. And so bringing in top names would justify the reason for a drive-up cost in tuition. That's what I said. So people thought I was going to say prices, like ticket prices, but it drives up the cost of why you should come to this school. It drives up their tuition. It's a reason to justify, like, oh, we have Bill Belichick, we have da-da-da. This is why we have these prices, you have these connections, and da-da-da-da. Because you got to think about it, Bill Belichick has ties to the New England Patriots. So no matter what anybody say, it don't matter if they lose. Like, we seen this in college basketball. Programs go from, like, winning programs to terrible programs, but players go to these terrible programs and still get drafted top pick, even though they were losing. Like, come on, guys. This has a very political view in it or it has political things tied into it, and it has definitely economic things tied into it, and it has a it's another one. It has some other. It's another one, guys. Some institutional things tied into it for sure. But I said here, let this be a lesson. I said, let this be a lesson. Let this be a lesson. Chasing notoriety costs more than money. Okay? Chasing notoriety costs more than money. It costs the wisdom of pursuing the education the right way. For real. Because if you go to a school just because the name of the instructor, like I have conversation with higher education educators, guys, behind the scenes. These people don't know how to instruct or teach. Like, look at it. Prime example, he can't really coach. So you're probably decreasing your chances of going to the NFL, maybe. I don't know. Played football when I was younger, but don't too much care for it. Too much head collision. But to keep things in perspective, if you go to a classroom and you say, oh yeah, I'm paying about 15 grand to 20 grand to go to North Carolina University, for example, but it's like I'm not really paying for it. It's like I'm not really paying for the school. I'm paying for the connections of it. If that's how you want to be, and you come up, let me tell you how it works. Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, they don't care what school you went to. Alex Karp, Palantir founders, CEO, co-CEO, they don't care about what college you went to. So when you say, oh, I'm trying to get a job at Palantir or Meta, Amazon, like corporate level, doing stuff, whatever, because your connections, I'm gonna tell you how it works. I talked to people like this before. You're going to get the job. Shout out to you. You're going to get the job. But when you run into a real workaholic like me, or somebody who works way harder, who willing to spend a night at the job because they trying to climb the ladder and go to the next level of that job, when you run into a person who didn't go to an Ivy League, they don't got the connections, they say, I got in here because my interview skills, I got in here because my portfolio, I got in here because I went beyond. I went beyond the normal what my professor said. I added creative things to see if my professor said I like that or don't like that. Then you finna get your job too. And then you say, well, my college education wasn't worth it. Now you saying your college education wasn't worth it. Now you saying your college wasn't giving you, your university or whatever, wasn't giving you a good return on investment. Because your education wasn't worth crap. So now you trying to come back to a 2-year college. I'm telling you how the game go. Now you trying to come back to a 2-year college. Now you trying to learn how to do stocks. Now you trying to learn how to do real estate. You should have been doing it. But before you even, while you was in college, you should have been doing it. It's a necessity. That should have been a necessity. I'm just saying. The blueprint to higher education or getting education is not the same, man. When I graduate, I would tell you everything. I played this game so different that I think it will blow your head, your mind. Like, seriously. And that's all. I appreciate everybody that came to the live stream. First one back. I don't think YouTube rewarded us properly. I don't think we got the push out of the video like we should. I was engaged. I was crunk. I will be back like normal next week, hopefully. Doing some more schoolwork, trying to get ahead on some stuff. I got a midterm exam that I have to really get on. Is due on October 17th. So that is another reason why some things are slowing me down. As I said before, this usually happens when I'm in school. It messes up. It keeps me from being consistent a lot of times. Because like I said, graduate school, guys, it's not like, it's really any level of school. Like, if you don't stay on it like you stay on this, you will fall behind and be in a bad situation. So hopefully the goal is to be on next week sometime to make it possible. Can't guarantee if I will be on, if I won't. Watch this, come to the end, because I'm telling you, we got plenty more to come. We just doing our daily dosage till we graduate. Peace, chicken grease, and we hope to see you all again.